Welcome to AGORACOM, the Small Cap Epicenter, and AGORACOM TV, a daily, fast-paced, edgy show that brings you the best press release out of the small cap world every morning at the open, so you can hopefully profit from them and maybe find your next great small cap investments. Thursday, January the 31st, I've got 6 great press releases for you. They're dominated by Canadian resources today. However, I do have one press release out of the OTC, and it's a big one. So let's start you off with that one. Composite Technology trades on the OTC under the stock symbol CPTC. They're announcing that one of their subsidiaries has sold 40 turbines to a repeat customer in the Czech Republic. Their subsidiary, DWind, has received an order from SNMCZ out of Czechoslovakia to buy a total of 40 DWind turbines without towers. Listen to the size of this deal. It's valued at 61.4 million euros, or approximately $90 million US. That's a big sale. The entire purchase, I like this, is guaranteed by the customer's bank. This is a repeat order from the same customer who purchased and received 2 turbines from DWind in 2007 and will take delivery of 7 more turbines in the coming weeks. Obviously, Composite Technology and specifically their subsidiary are really onto something here. The company closed yesterday at $1.41. One thing I do want to mention is the delivery schedule, because this kind of thing does take time. 10 turbines to be shipped in the 4th quarter of 2008, 30 turbines to be delivered throughout 2009. So this is going to take some time to end up on the balance sheet and on the income statements of the company, but nonetheless, a great sale there for Composite Technology. Going over the TSX Venture Exchange, Anglo Swiss Resources, a client of AGORACOM, have to disclose that, but some great news that stands on its own here. They do trade on the venture on the stock symbol ASW. For our friends in the U.S., they trade on the OTC under ASWRF. They're announcing multiple high-grade gold, copper, silver intercepts from their October 2007 diamond drill program. This is on their 100% owned Kenville property in Nelson, British Columbia. Here are some of the highlights, because they've got a lot of data. I encourage you to go take a look at it, but let me give you the highlights. The drilling program confirms the geophysical modeling of a copper-gold porphyry zone, as well as the identification of the Eagle vein, a high-grade gold quartz vein within the porphyry system. Here are a couple of holes: AK0704, 12.5 meters, grading 0.258% copper, and another high-grade interval assaying 42 grams per ton of gold, 0.22% copper, 52 grams per ton of silver, over 0.8 meters. Hole AK0705, 2 intervals assaying 16.6 grams per ton of gold, 0.79% copper, 34.1 grams per ton of silver, over 1.2 meters, and 14.96 grams per ton of gold, 0.38% copper, 30.1 grams per ton of silver, over 1.35 meters. These numbers are enough to provide the company with confirmation required to order and implement a 10,000-meter drill program in 2008. They're going to test the Eagle vein strike length and overall size and depth of the porphyry system. The company closed yesterday at 51 cents. Next up, Oriental Minerals trades on the Venture Exchange under the stock symbol OTL. This came out yesterday. We didn't catch it in time for yesterday's show, so we do want to talk about it today. They announced an initial resource estimate for their Shandong tungsten moly deposit in South Korea. They're reporting 50.7 million tons of 0.28% tungsten and 0.04% moly inferred, 5.7 million tons of 0.31% tungsten, 0.04% moly indicated. The report of initial resource estimations were done by Wardrop Engineering. They're based on the first 27 of 45 drill holes completed out of a planned 87 drill hole program. So Oriental Minerals, look for a lot more news to be coming out of them. I like the quote from Mr. Willie McLucas, President and CEO of the company, who stated, "This first report illustrates the longer-term potential of Shandong mine as one of the largest known tungsten deposits in the world." That's pretty big news coming out of Mr. McLucas there. With approximately 1/3 of the total drill results known to date, the scale of the deposit is becoming much clearer. They got a lot of information in there relating to a scoping pre-feasibility study, current drilling, community support there in South Korea. Go take a look at that press release. A lot of details. They closed yesterday at 78 cents, and congratulations to our friends over there, Spiros Kletas and Dean Nawada. Next up, Kaminak Gold trades on the venture exchange on the stock symbol KAM. Big news out of here. They're announced that they acquired a historic deposit reported to contain 11.6 million pounds of uranium. Now, this is a non-NI 43101 compliant number. Make sure to take note of that, but I'll give you some details on that later. How'd they get this? They signed a landmark agreement with Nunavut Tungavik Incorporated. They're also announcing a proposed spin-out transaction of these uranium assets to the shareholders. Important to understand, this is an MOU. It's not a done deal yet, so there are definitely terms and conditions that have to be fulfilled. Go take a look at those. Now, what do want to talk about that big number? This is the most significant prospect known to date on the Inuit-owned land is the Lac Séquent uranium deposit. How did they get to that number? The deposit was discovered by Pan Ocean Oil in the late 70s, later acquired by Aberford Resources. The Aberford annual report from 1982 states a deposit contains approximately 11.6 million pounds of uranium oxide with grades averaging 1.03%. There is no additional information from that annual report. Very little geological assessment information available from the public government archive, so they do have some work to do, but nonetheless, a good lead. Take a look and follow Kaminak. They closed yesterday at 39.5 cents. Next up, Shear Minerals trades on the venture exchange under SRM, along with Stornoway Gold that trades on the TSX under SWI. Shear is announcing they're reporting high diamond counts from 4 new kimberlite discoveries. This is at their diamond project in Nunavut. The kimberlite dikes have returned significant micro and macro diamond counts ranging from 29 to 138 diamonds per kilogram of kimberlite analyzed. Shear's president CEO Pam Strand had this following significant quote: "Given the extremely high diamond counts, which in some cases exceed 100 diamonds per kilogram, the partners are optimistic that Churchill has the potential to host an economic diamond resource." That closed yesterday at 42 cents. And finally, Lara Exploration trades on the venture exchange under LRA. They announced new nickel intercepts from their nickel project in Brazil. The work is actually done by Kaminak Brazil, and I'll get to those numbers in a second, their joint venture numbers, but they completed an infill diamond drill program that's on their project in northern Brazil. Teck and Lara entered into an option agreement, joint venture agreement in October, covering 310,000 hectares of mineral rights held by Lara. Teck can earn up to 60% by paying Lara $600,000 in cash and spending about $4 million in exploration over the next 36 months. Analytical results are summarized on Table 1. Take a look at those. Too many to go through, but what they do say here is that the drilling shows that the mineralization is reasonably consistent across a 1.4 by 1 kilometer area with a well-defined trend that extends onto Teck Kaminak property, which explains this joint venture agreement to the northeast and the south. Mineralization reaches over 20 meters in thickness. Grades in excess of 1.5% nickel have been intersected in places. They closed yesterday at 81 cents. That's a lot of news. Had to get through it quickly. As always, if you're looking for more great small cap companies, don't forget about the AGORACOM marketplace. Over 80 companies listed by industry and exchange with great fast summaries so you can find the one best suited for your portfolio. That's a wrap for the day. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.